So we got Anthony Joshua, Daniel Du Bois tonight. How do I feel about that, guys? I'll tell you this. So I was in prison in El Paso for a while, and because I was in El Paso, Latuna really, we were so close to the Mexican border with Juarez that we could get. All the pay-per-view boxing on TV. I watched the Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather fight there, and it's little known that boxing is such a popular sport in Mexico. There's no pay-per-view. The networks carry it. So as long as you're willing to deal with listening to it in Spanish, you get free fights. And so Anthony Joshua is fighting Joe Parker. I think the unified titles. I think Parker had the WBA title. He won in a really close decision against Andy Ruiz. So I stayed up and I stayed up and I stayed up, and it was like 1 in the morning, which I know people are going to laugh at me, but when you're in prison and you go to bed at 8:30 because you work out so hard and whatnot, that's kind of late. And Joshua stunk the place out. And what do I mean by stunk the place out? Guys, typical boxing, very boring. I think Joshua is really exciting. He's obviously very athletically gifted. But, the thing about boxing, guys, is it's so myopic. It's two hands against one another. The legs aren't involved. There's no grappling. That what can happen in the fight is people get good at, you get better and better at, for lack of a better word, stalling, right? Like you can box a certain way and make the fight boring. And I think it's really why MMA has overtaken boxing. Now, don't get me wrong, as MMA ages, I think some of the same stuff will start to take place, right? Like, maybe a really good grappler who knows enough stand up to not become in danger, but then take it back down will cause the same kind of concerns. Instead of like early day MMA, like it was like a free-for-all, right? like balls to the wall. But I think that's what happened when anyone gets really good. After all, they're not fighting for fun in there. They're fighting for money. Will I watch Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Du Bois tonight? I will probably try to check it out. I tried to check out the last DAZN fight that I saw, and I couldn't get it in, so I quit pretty early. But this is just a reflection of how awesome it is. Like, heavyweights like this, guys, didn't used to fight each other. Top 10 guys very clearly. I know they're fighting for a title, but I'm not going to say a title. Like, top 10 guys that you'd fight, journeyman guys, you get your ranking and then you take your shot at the title. But everything's changed economically. I mean, people love watching fights, so they can get made, and there's a lot more promoters, and, well, in boxing, there's a few more, not a lot more. But yeah, golden age of combat sports is with us, guys. Check out Du Bois Joshua. Who I think's going to win? Probably Joshua, guys. But yeah, there it is. Read my book, Warrior of the